Hi, I'm Phil Constantine. On this episode of Travels with Phil, we are going to Houston, Texas. Yes, the great state of Texas, where yours truly grew up and was born back a long time ago, actually. And we're going to be talking about here is something that happened on the freeways back there many years ago. This is not a brand new story. This is an old story. In fact, I don't have any real pictures of the actual event because it happened almost 50 years ago, but I think it's a good story, so I thought I would tell it to you. Now, I was a highway patrol officer for 20 years, and I came across lots of interesting stories, but none quite like this. Houston gets lots of high wind and has lots of trees out there, and quite often trees will blow down and wind up in houses and yards, and even sometimes they will wind up in the roadway and hit cars as well. Well, let me tell you about a story involving this. This right here is called a tree spade. Now, this is a large piece of equipment that'll actually dig into the ground around a tree, pick up the entire tree, and cart it away so you can literally transplant a tree. And the story I'm telling you about has nothing to do with any of the pieces of equipment you see here. These are all good companies right here, just borrowing some of their pictures. And so this has nothing to do with any of these companies. This was a company that doesn't exist anymore. And about 50 years ago, there was a situation where they were moving one of these trees. Now, they moved some really big trees. And I saw one of these once on the freeway. It looked like an old concrete cement mixer that got reconditioned. It was moving the tree along, driving along on the roadway. Well, that's what happened here. One of these big machines was traveling along the road. In fact, it was traveling on Interstate 45 near downtown Houston, as I remember the story. And it broke. And the tree fell out of the back of this truck that was carrying it, and it landed on top of a car that was driving along behind it. Now, fortunately, the lady that was inside the car was not hurt. Her tree was really messed up, or the car was really messed up. Well, she talked to the officer, and she says, officer, this is really terrible. Now, my husband thinks I'm a bad driver, and this was not my fault. And the officer agreed with her. He says, yes, ma'am, you're right. This was not your fault. The equipment on the truck here in front of you broke, and it landed on top of your truck. Well, the lady says, well, officer, would you mind coming home with me and telling my husband that I didn't run into a tree. The tree ran into me. Well, the officer had a sense of humor and took her home and told her husband that it wasn't her fault. I think that's a good story. It's almost a man bites dog kind of story.
Thank you very much for watching this video. Please feel free to make comments below as long as the language is family friendly. And if you like this video, please click on the thumbs up button below. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the circle with my picture in it in the lower right-hand corner of the video. The arrow is pointing at it now. And once you have subscribed, you can be notified of when I have a new video posted by clicking on the bell icon in the description field below the video. Thanks again for watching.